I heard you were very eager to get another video. Here it is. Okay, topic of this one. How can we create a curve network? What's a curve network? That's a curve network. What does it do? Well, it connects curves. No, actually, it really does connect curves. That's the reason why we call this a network, but it is useful to define very organic or fluid shapes like you can see here. So we have various transitions from round to elliptical to more linear, back to something else. And then also, for example, from the sides, you see everything looks very different. And this video will show you how to do this. Okay, let's go. To get started, the first thing we have to do is to download the scan model. The download link is inside the description for this video in YouTube. Once you have downloaded and then unpacked or unzipped the STL file, we can go to Insert, Insert Mesh. And by the way, you see here I have the Insert Mesh tool icon in the main menu. When you go to here, you can show and hide those. Very good. So there is the Dapple Bottle STL file. Open. As always here, this needs to be meters since this is a scan which was cleaned up and prepared inside Blender, which works with meter as the main unit system. Okay, there we are. Very good. Awesome. So before we are going to try to rebuild this one, we need to start understanding what geometry we have here. In the upper area, it looks like from this view some sort of a circular thing and then flat lines left and right at an angle. And here this looks kind of like a pear. But Fusion also has a very good tool to create actually, could I say that? Yeah, section lines. So let's go to Mesh. And under Create, you will see Create Mesh Section. Then we select the body, section plane. This would be, in this case, the center one here. And click OK. There you see, pretty useful, no? Let's do this again. Same object. This time we used the other plane. Now you see it's on, we see just the outline. And then maybe two more. This body. This here on the ground, and I will move this a little bit up, maybe to here. Right click, repeat this body, this plane maybe to the center here. Right click, repeat this body from ground up to kind of like the center here. Yeah, like there. And maybe one more. Somewhere here. And we can click OK. And then when we turn actually the mesh off and take a look at the top, it's so much easier to understand the kind of like the shapes we're looking at. We can clearly see that on which one is it? Here, is it this one? Yeah, this one. Left and right. This is actually a little bit more linear and these corners are actually tighter. The bottom one slightly too. But then to here and here, we start seeing that actually this turns more into a circular element. Okay. And this can give us very good ideas about what type of sketches and cross sections we have to create. Now also the way how we see these sections, and that's also the way how we will create our sections too. We, in this exercise, will not try to be perfect to what we need. this video rather will actually function as an introduction into how to create a curve network and how to analyze via the loft command how it behaves, and then how we have to create or add more sections to stabilize it. Okay, very good. So we've kind of like this done. Maybe let's switch to the surface tool set. Very good. And we can take a look at maybe do we start left or do we start on the right side? The scan here right now, I can hide. I don't really need it as much anymore because these section views are much easier to navigate and I can see through. Very good. So let's see. We know on top that is actually a perfect cylindrical element. And then from this circular cross sections, it turns into, well, these more ellipses with some, how could I say that, sharper corners. Now we need to figure out where do we start and how do we break up these sketches. So I think the easiest part will be to define up here the upper circular section. So I need to have a circle there. Okay, that means I need to create an offset plane there. Maybe roughly here. So what is this? 170. No, 71, 72. Let's go with 71. Okay. Then I can on this create a sketch and then from the center draw a circle out. Very good. And then this circle I can extrude up a little bit. This is kind of like the interior neck. 18 millimeters. That looks good. The dimension here you see is a little bit too wide. So if I scale this down a little bit, when I went back into editing the sketch, press D for dimension 24.5. Okay, finish sketch. Yeah, that's kind of like okay. Or what we can do is right click, show dimension, double click. Let's make this 25. So it's 30 millimeters. Right click, hide dimension. Okay, now that is actually quite useful. Good. So the surface is good, meaning this sketch actually is good. Let's create a sketch at the bottom. There we are. And I can maybe look at the bottom. There we are. So the biggest outline looks like it is actually quite nice and round. It does not have these sharper corners. So that tells me I might be able to use the fit point. Okay, so click, 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 and click. And then here I will hide all those and there. And now ideally I want to do a symmetry thing. So here my plus and minus, and then click to there, and maybe this one, click to there. So these 2 points are vertical, horizontal, aligned to the center, and then I can go ahead and say symmetry this point, and this point symmetry along this plane, and then this point, and hold on, I press escape so I understand what I'm doing here. I move this one down. So symmetry, this one, and this one to this line. Now, because this point is horizontally, it can't go up and down, and one can go left and right. And then because of the symmetry command, this one really mirrors the same position here. Very good. escape and then see. Oh, wow, this all looks pretty good. Let's see, where is the last big one? Yeah, that's, I think, this one. Then very easy, as you can see, is just click and drag, bringing those to there. Okay, very good. Finish sketch. There we are. And let's actually give these names, top and bottom. Okay, cool. So and now when I go to loft, I can loft between these two shapes and create a cone. Well, that doesn't really match this design at all. So see you later. Now we need to figure out, okay, how can I push this into that shape? First, when I turn this one on, I can see, oh, I can actually make this a little bit smaller. Same here, maybe slightly to there. Okay, good. Thank you. So these two sections I will keep. Now what I will do is, so when I take a look at this, I now starting here, point, 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 point. Okay, so new sketch. And the sketch was created on whatever, so I will exit the sketch and delete. New sketch. Here I want to be able to select the plane. I need to be able on these sketches to start and end my new sketch. So I want to find the intersection. Where does this sketch plane intersect this circle, and where does this sketch plane intersect this ellipse? There we are. Okay. Now I could hide those, but you see the points now. Goody. Now let's see. How many points do we need? Okay, let's go to a side view, press escape. Then let's push and pull everything a little bit. There. Maybe like this. Again, we're not trying to be super precise. It shouldn't be blatantly wrong. This is more an exercise trying to understand how this works. Okay, now this is not too bad. I would like to mirror this over to the other side. So I could go create mirror, U, plane, there's nothing. So let's draw here a vertical line up. Then let's do this one more time. Okay, good. So that then actually should work. It interestingly added actually also the mirroring for the tangent handles here and here too. That's not really what I wanted, so I will undo this command. Yeah, it's not really, when I click on these points, you see the handles aren't really pulled out. Okay, not really a big deal. Everything what the mirror command did was just make a copy and then assign the symmetry points. So I can easily also do this by hand. You to this line, you to this line, and then just the points there to this line. Okay, escape. And I'll pull this one down a little bit. Yeah, okay, good. So now let's actually call this front. You see how this actually connects to there and this connects to there. let's take a look what we can do with the loft command now. So when I loft this to there, okay, and then here we have rails. So click on this one. Oh, look at that. So you see, we told the software, make a blend between these two shapes, and on the left side, follow that thing. And the right side is kind of whatever. So let's click on it. Cool. Wow. Yeah. Let's take a look at the scan. Oh, it's getting close, no? Not perfect, but it's something. So here, maybe we bring this one to there. Yeah. Okay. How does this look from here? Okay. Something is missing. Well, it's more than logical. Here we have a definition for the sides. Here we don't. So that means, well, before we do this loft, we need also here have a sketch with the definition for it. Okay, so this thing maybe now we can hide, create, intersect this ring, this ellipse. Okay. Just so you see, I can hide all this. There are these points. Now, if I take a look at this, this is now already a little bit more complicated. So this is an arc, and then, yeah, how do we do this? Let's actually go to maybe spline, not spline, the CV. So click, 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 and click, yeah. And then maybe one click and one last click down here. And escape. When I get this one close, yeah, I needed one more click. So let's delete this one. Then again, start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to the end. Okay, this is better. You see how these are kind of wonky? Parallel. Same here. Very good. So, an escape. And the cool thing is now when I move this one point, you see how the others move with it. Then we can bring this to there, bring this to there. There we can try to capture it. This to there. Yeah. But then we see, this is not matching. So what's happening here is this is actually a rounding, a fillet at the bottom. So that means here, this one, that one needs to change. So the bottom one here. Let's bring this one maybe to there. So I'm just looking at this line till maybe it's kind of there. Okay, good. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you see? Very good. Double click on this one. We have to do the same on the other side. Cross fingers that this time mirror actually works the way how we want it. So we need to have here again a mirror line, mirror you along you. Okay. Yeah, it does. Sweet. Okay. So now we have actually our side sketch. Let's take a look at everything. And then we go to loft again and say 1, 2 along, and now we go in a clock or counterclock sequence. Okay. Yeah. It's doing something, but definitely not really what I want. What's going on here? Also, when I take a look here, yeah, not really ideal. So, is this a problem? Not necessarily, or nothing is wrong. Well, probably, yeah, of course, but it's not necessarily that there's something wrong. The problem simply is the software is simply guessing what I want. This is too tight here. If I take a look at the, from here, you see this needs to be wider, and then whatever is happening here is complete garbage. So I need now to put in at least 2 more cross sections to stabilize the surface. Also, you notice the sequence. Now I made my top ring. I made my bottom ring. Here, let me delete actually this extrusion, so it's gone. Then I made one set, I made the other set, so start end, rails, and now I can bring in the additional sections. Bring this one up, maybe, yeah, kind of like here in between, so maybe 50 there, good. New sketch onto this one. And then, now again, I will go intersect, 1, 2, 3, 4, so they connect, very easy. This way, because I found the intersection points, I perfectly know where I would like everything to, where I would like this section to touch the rails. This point to here. Or I made those actually first horizontal or vertical. Oh, what's going on now? That's interesting. Hold on, let's undo. Okay, first, drag this out funny, drag this one out funny, then, yes, now the handle, and then this point to hold the mouse button, sketch point. Oh, yeah, hold the mouse button pressed, and then you get this context menu. There we are. So we wanted to have that point. Press escape. And now when I move this one, you see the other one updates. This way, we can make this artificially a little bit thicker. So let's take a look quickly how this works. 1, 2, whoa, what's going on here? Let's delete this stuff. Zuck, zuck, zuck. 1, 2, 3. Along you, and you. Oh, well, not so quick. Okay, rails. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So when we take a look at the bottom, yeah, this actually starts to look better. Here, this is good. Up there, this is garbage. So we are on the right track. Then construction from here. Yep. Maybe, yeah, I will try to find kind of like this inflection point. 1, 2, 5. That looks like it. Yeah, okay. Then new sketch on this one. Intersect 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Yeah, that actually should work well. Now, one last time. Loft 1, 2, 3. No, careful what you click, not the points. And then now we select the rails. Ah, see? No, we don't have this twisting there anymore. So that's actually all pretty good, but we got one new problem. When we zoom in, you can see what is going on here. You see this gets flat and, well, it definitely should be more round. How do we solve this? Well, easy. One more. Zip. Maybe to there. So 1, 5, 0. Could be good. It's kind of at half of it. New sketch on it, and again, nope, wrong command. Zuck, zuck, zuck. U2, nobody escapes. And there we draw the last element in. Very good. Okay. Yeah. We can actually see how this command already also creates a not too bad surface. I will I will leave it at this for the moment. So when we do a loft, it always tries to kind of like, how could I say that, de-stress the surface. Think about it as a strip of plastic, and when you bend it over a point, it will, and you release your hand, it will try to just snap back. It's not like a lead ruler or something. That's why, how could I say that? Here, this gets really linear, but we want the surface to be pushed into these profiles I have there. And that's why we now have these rails. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So let's hide all the sketches and take a look. Oh, that was actually quite respectable. Turn on the scan. That was actually pretty good. We can see here this area is a tick too high. So maybe this point we move down a little bit. Cross fingers. Boom. And all updated. Here I used the fit point curve because I felt this was actually the easiest one to do. And then here I was curious, could this work with the CV? You can try do all with the CV or do all with the fit point. They all have their ups and downs. And honestly, it's maybe also up to personal preference, how you want to do this. I, for example, here used the CV, particularly because I knew this is rather linear. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. They're all parallel. So with all these points together, the curve will look like a line. And then here, the curve will, well, look like a curve. With the fit point, that doesn't work. The fit point curve is always super smooth. You don't get a straight line. Only if it's a 2-point curve, then, well, it's a line. Okay, yeah. Now we could actually go ahead and go, I think, extrude this one. No, not really. Now that's the reason why we have the top sketch. So now we could extrude up 17 millimeters. Then let's patch the bottom. Let's patch the top. Then we stitch it all together. Very nice. And, well, last tasks, maybe a small fillet, a millimeter or 2. Plus down here, that's rather a big one, so 5. You see how this changes the shape a lot. I don't really like it. And we know chord length will fix it. Oh, obviously after I selected the correct fillet. Yeah, it still does it a little bit, but yeah, better than, yeah, better than before. Very nice. Yeah, and then we could go to solid shell U 2 millimeters and shell it out. Yeah, and that basically is how a curved network works in a nutshell. So you have a start and end profile, you have side rails, 1, 2, or even 4, and then you also have cross sections in between to push the surface more into the shape you want to prevent distortions where needed. And while this is a bottle, essentially, if you now take a look at objects where you see some sort of a blend, a transition, this is pretty much it. In this case, it just represented a bottle. In another case, it could be a hairdryer, a vacuum, or whatever it is. Peace out.